Well, it's the first part of May, and we're a little bit late on getting our corn in, but we're going to get it in today. Typically like to get it in April sometime, but it's just been too wet and haven't had the right conditions for it. So we got the ground all prepped. We're ready to go. We're going to put the Eagle Seed beans in, put the fertilizer in here, and get after it. We've had real good luck with the Eagle Seed corn through the years, and one nice thing about it is we've got a planter, we've got a couple planters. If you don't want to plant it, you can actually broadcast it, and it does real well. You only have to add like 10% extra for broadcasting. It's drought resistant, which I like, because when you get into planting in May, the drought conditions can hurt you, and so this corn's pretty darn drought tolerant. It's Roundup ready, glyphosate ready, whatever you want to call it. So it's really been good to us, and I'm looking forward to planting it again this year. Well, we've got our seed bed ready. We're ready to put this corn in the ground. We chose to till this particular plot right here. On this farm, corn is really good for late season here. It's probably not the #1 thing, but there really isn't a #1. Deer are actually forage, so they like a variety, and that's what we put in here. But corn's very important to us, especially when the temperatures get below freezing. We like to hunt over it because they definitely will come to it then. Well, we talked a little bit about the Eagle Seed corn, and now let's talk a little bit about the planter, what we're going to put the corn in the ground with. This particular planter is an old vintage planter that I acquired from a neighbor of mine, and it's probably was made back in the 50s, and I'm sure in the day this was probably one of the better planters out there. I like it because it's simple. It's simple and it's foolproof. And it's 3-point, there's no PTO to hook up, chain driven, so it pretty much drives itself. And it's got everything on it that you'll need to plant. It's small, 2-row, 30-inch centers, doesn't take up much space, and it's easy to operate. And you can run it on a tractor actually smaller than this tractor too. It's relatively light too. Let's talk a little bit how it works. Down here you've got these disc openers here that actually open, this device right here actually opens the furrow up, and you've got your corn in here, chain driven, and it drops the corn down through here, and on the side here we've got our fertilizer side dresser. So you got your fertilizer up in here, chain driven also, regulating the flow, how much is coming out. And it's dropping that fertilizer right next to the corn furrow. So you have your fertilizer right there where you need it. Unlike broadcasting where you have granules all over the ground. I like this because it's right there next to the corn, and as the corn's growing, it can get the nitrogen it needs to grow. We've got row markers on here that go back and forth, so you can, after you do a row, you flip it back over and you know how to line up for the next pass on it. These are the drive wheel and the packing wheel, so they serve 2 purposes. It actually drives it. There's 2 chains on there that actually for the corn and the fertilizer. Got this back here to keep the mud if you're planting when it's muddy, but you shouldn't be planting when it's muddy anyway, but they're there. You can find one of these. I know there's a lot of them out there, and they're relatively inexpensive. And so Facebook Marketplace, I'm sure you can probably find them on eBay even, and there may be one laying in an old farmstead where you hunt. I don't know, but really works well, and like I said, very simple to operate. So we're actually testing it right now to make sure we got fertilizer and we've got seed coming out. I've got the planter lifted up a few inches off the ground. There was a kernel. There's a kernel coming out of there, so we know we've got fertilizer and seed coming out here. You don't want to be planting and then only discover that your hopper or something was clogged up and you weren't dropping seed or fertilizer. So we're pretty much ready to go there. The next thing we'll do is I'll pull up in there, drop the planter down, kind of check the depth on it before we take off and get going with this good. So when we first get going, we're gonna probably run in real low gear just so we can check everything out, make sure the seed's coming out properly. Then we're gonna get off and check the depth and make sure it's packing the furrow, closing it up, and then we'll probably change gears and we can get going a little faster and we'll move through this a little quicker. So we tilled this pretty deep in here, and as I started out, I'm probably got the planter set a little bit too deep. It'll be fine, it's kicked the dirt out, but we're gonna lift it up a little higher and check it one more time. It looks like we've got things set pretty good now. You can see the corn seed down there. It's probably putting it in about an inch, inch and a half deep. You can put it up to 2 inches deep. So it's closing the furrow up good. So we're gonna get going, see if we can keep our line straight. So we've got our first row in, pretty straight. A little secret I learned is actually you get more seed in a crooked row, just a joke. But anyway, getting our distance spacing, knowing where our tractor is going to be. So we've marked a line with our marker, and so I'm trying to line the tractor up to find a point on the tractor that I know will give us a 30-inch row between this second and third row. So that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I've got the tractor centered up on the marker, but it looks like we're going to have to be over a little bit more, because it looks like we're about 40 inches, I'm guessing. Corn coming up in rows. Well, it's been exactly 7 days since we planted this eagle seed corn in here, and I'm really happy with the germination, how fast it came up. When we planted, there was plenty of moisture in the ground, but it's kind of warmed up quite a bit. We got right at a ½ inch of rain on them last Wednesday, I think, about 4 days into it. It was a real gentle rain, and the ground didn't get crusted over at all. It's still real firm, not packed down, so it was perfect situation for germinating the corn. Temperature was right, and it's doing very well. We planted about, I think, right at 2 acres we've got planted, and got rain coming next week. We've got, it's going to get up to 90, I think, tomorrow, which a couple days of heat's not going to hurt it at all, but it's going to get a little rainy next week, but we've got it all up out of the ground, so that'll be good. So next step is here in a few weeks, we'll spray it. We haven't sprayed it at all. Don't have a whole lot of weed germination yet, but with the rain coming, I'm sure it's going to get kind of weedy, but I think we're only going to have to spray this one time and it'll be good to go. We'll probably do a foliar application of fertilizer on it too, probably when it gets about 20 inches tall. So great. We got our eagle seed beans in right next to it too yesterday, so both these plots looking real well.